I think the mindset is key. So knowing at the outset that it's not going to be an overnight thing, that's a biggie, right? You have to set your expectations correctly. There are the anomalies, right? And they're all over the internet of someone that made, a ridiculous amount of money in 3 months or something. That's great. That's probably not going to be you, and that's okay. That's all right. But I think the big thing for me is finding one or two like educators that you're going to follow instead of trying to follow everyone, right? So I chose you and maybe one or two other people that I, watch their vlogs and things. Everybody has a different approach, and if you try to follow everyone, your site is going to be just like soup, right? It's not going to work out. So find a couple people that you really think are doing a good job, follow their advice. The other thing, this is a little thing, but I wish I'd done it sooner. I created basically a what I did when list. So I only created that maybe 4 months ago because I was having such a struggle remembering when I did big things. So when I was then looking at the data a couple of months later, I could see a spike and I couldn't relate it to anything. I was like, great, something happened in the middle of August. I don't know. I don't know if I contributed to that or not. So now I just have like literally a text file where I do something that's major. Like if I take ads off a group of posts, I put that in the file, right, with the date that I did it. So then if I see a blip, if I see something different in the data, I can go back to my list of what I did when and align it at least a little bit to see if I contributed to whatever just happened. So I would have done that from the beginning. It doesn't have to be every task that you do, like just the big stuff that you think might make a difference later. So I would do that. And then I probably would have, and you may disagree with me on this, I probably would have put in ads a little sooner, but I like having the, diversified income. For me, that's just a safer place to be. So I put ads in probably 6 months ago. I use Mediavine. I love them. And that was really cool to be able to have a second source. So now I'm going through and deciding which posts to take ads off of. Buyer's intent posts, for example, like you suggested, go back and take maybe the top 10 buyers posts by traffic, take ads off of those and see if you make more from Amazon or other affiliates than you get from ads. So that's kind of the trial period I'm going through now. But having ads on my site, I don't regret that. You can control a lot about how many there are, and that's great. But now I'm to the point where I can go back and say, okay, where could I be getting more from Amazon and other affiliates? Where could I make up more than I'm losing in ads? So that's where I am now. But those are a couple of things I would have done.
And I'm glad you pointed that out. I forgot to highlight that. So I think you're making like 2/3 from Amazon and then about 1/3 from other sources, mostly display ads.
Last month, I think was like 1,500 from Amazon and then about 900 from ads. So yeah, I did not lose as much by taking ads off of this first 10 trial posts. I made more than that. Granted, it was holiday season, so we'll see. But holidays, not a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a whole other debate. Maybe we could talk about just, like you said, I was like, hey, don't put ads on.
Yep.
And then other people are like, put ads on, you can make more, which you almost always will.
Sure.
But there's always a trade-off. Maybe. Not always. I mean,
for sure.
Maybe the trade-off isn't as big of a deal. But anyway, it's debatable. And I could see that because like when you started showing me how much you were making, I was like, well, that's significant.
Right.
So excellent.
Yep, I agree. But it's a balance for sure. And you kind of just have to trial and error which ones are good for ads and which ones aren't. And you may be leaving some money on the table either place. And that's just the name of the game. So
Yep.